advance this project. And we, by God's grace, we will see this project come to a successful completion, and that this will certainly no doubt enhance our economic opportunities in this country with direct air access for visitors and Dominicans alike, and also the enhancement of the export of agricultural and other manufactured goods in Dominica. And the reality is, I don't think we can build the country to the extent that young people want it to be built, a post-colonial economy, without the presence of such a piece of infrastructure. It has eluded us for over 50 years, and I'm just 50 years, and we've been talking about it for more than 50 years. Many governments have attempted, not successful, and I do not blame them for not being successful because of the sheer cost of this. And I think the closest we came at any one point to build the international airport was when the Americans had promised Dame Eugenia Child's assistance in earth moving. And even then, we had no designs for the airport. And even then, there was no EIA conducted on the international airport. And so I want to let all right-thinking Dominicans be assured that we are following the construction of this international airport with prudence, with responsibility, and with professionalism, and so forth. On the arguments of whether we need an international airport, the Bible cautions us against engaging certain people in you can read the Bible and find the word that it says we're not going to engage foolish people in that kind of engagement. Certainly not me. This airport will be pressed on, and we shall press on it. And I want to thank the Wesley people for standing on the side of development. They have made tremendous personal sacrifices in moving away from where they lived for so many decades. And I can say to Dominican people that their cooperation has been second to none, exceptional. And this is why I have made a firm commitment that all of the property owners, their names will be inscribed on a wall in the international airport, so that current and succeeding generations of Dominicans will understand, had it not been for these people, we would not have an international airport, because they gave up their comfort zone to allow us to give Dominica a better opportunity at economic progress and development. And of course, who better person would I invite now to speak and to report on a couple of matters in his own ministry, the Member of Parliament for the Woodfordale Wesley Palm Tree constituency. I tried to exchange with him during the last election so I could run in Wesley and be the power for Wesley to benefit from this once in a lifetime project, but he told me nothing shall go so. Right.
Good morning, everyone. Let me recognize the presence of the Prime Minister, Honorable Roosevelt Skerrit, Consultant within the Ministry of Public Works, Mr. Kendall Johnson, Permanent Secretary, CAPSEC, the media. Good morning. Extreme weather events caused by climate change has forced governments worldwide to go back to the drawing board. For us here in Dominica, our infrastructure has been hit the hardest. In recent years, we have seen communities cut off because of road failures. We have seen otherwise strong bridges washed away, and the road network severely undermined because of heavy rainfall and land slippage. The government has paid hundreds of millions of dollars to truckers and heavy equipment for clearing of roads following extreme weather conditions. We will all remember the most recent disaster in the east of Dominica. Unlike many of our sister countries in the region, the reality in Dominica is that adapting to climate change is costing the government of Dominica hundreds of millions of dollars. I will give a brief update now on various large projects the ministry is undertaking We will start with the Lyle Road project. The Lyle Road project, an estimated $23 million. This project runs from the Hillsborough Bridge to the York Valley Bridge and is divided into 2 phases. Phase 1 is currently being implemented. The scope of works for Phase 1 has been amended to include sections of the road carded for Phase 2, thereby allowing for a continuous 4 kilometers of rehabilitated roadway. This was made technically feasible by realigning these sections of the road away from the river's edge, thereby reducing the vulnerability. What is remain under this phase, is the river protection and draining works to be done under Phase 2. To date, Phase 1 has been substantially completed with the recent paving of the road marking and signage will be completed soon. Regarding the section of road from the York Valley Bridge to the Sultan Warner Junction, we are currently undertaking estimates and assessment for preparation for rehabilitation of that section of the road. The East Coast Road Project. Mr. Johnson is here with us today. He will go into more details of this project. However, I would like to thank the people of Cassibruce and the Kalinago territory for their continued cooperation while works progress. Just to inform the public, to date we have 3 water trucks on the route, and today we are expecting a 4th water truck to ensure the reduction in dust for citizens in the area. Additionally, a dozen hoses has been purchased and given to residents of the more affected areas on the route. Road and bridge rehabilitation, Loubier to Granby. The government of Dominica has received financing towards the cost of rehabilitating the Loubier to Granby Road. Segment 1, Loubier to Snug Corner, 1.5 kilometers of road. This will include 2 bridges, 8 culverts, and slope stabilization intervention. Segment 2, Snug Corner to Pichler, road length 6.2 kilometers, which includes 35 culverts, 12 slope stabilization interventions. Segment 3, Pichler to Granby, road length 2.65 kilometers, 3 bridges and culverts. Recently, we had discussions at the ministry, and it is costing the government on average anywhere from $2.5 million to $4 million for 1 kilometer of road. And that is because of the increased rainfall and climate change. So it's important that the public understand the cost of these interventions. So we're looking at $2.5 million to $4 million for just 1 kilometer of road. So the interventions from the Loubier to Bagatelle Road, we will see a reduce in the vulnerability of the road to future extreme weather events, natural hazards, but generally we will see an improved safety for the motoring public. This project is in the procurement stage, and we expect the deadlines for the submission of tenders March 29th, 2023. At this time, I'll give the public an update on the North Coast Road Rehabilitation Project. We have the feasibility and preliminary design have been completed, and the estimate for that project is $427 million. $427 million. That is from Hatton Garden to Portsmouth, and that route we expected to see some 30 bridges. Now, the government, along with the Ministry of Public Works, will be undertaking this program in phases. So I'd just like to reassure the public, especially residents who use the Hampstead Bridge, that we are addressing the situation. And just to inform the general public, we continue an extensive patching program across the country. And if we have not visited your community as yet, we should be there sometime this week or next week. I know the residents of Granby have been calling the ministry. I can assure you that we will be in the constituency to ensure that the holes within the Granby constituency are patched. We move now to the Water Sector Strategic Development Project. The experience of Dominica during the disasters of Tropical Storm Erica and Hurricane Maria in the very recent past has clearly demonstrated the importance of a resilient infrastructure here in the Commonwealth of Dominica. Therefore, DOWASCO's primary focus remains strengthening its water systems as such that the water sector strategic development program is paramount among projects currently being implemented. The following sub-projects have been selected for implementation and by the application of a multi-criteria infrastructure prioritization methodology. The areas include the Roosevelt Valley, which includes Trafalgar, Shawford, Forcani, Copthall, and Walton Waven. The West Coast to include Culibistry. The East Coast, which stretches from Monjon to Cassibruce, the Calibishi water intake, and the Jimmet sewer system. This project is to the tune of $30 million US, with another $8.5 million is expected to be spent by the government of Dominica and DOWASCO. This project will result in a vast improvement in the water service reliability in the respective communities, as well as create significant economic activity throughout Dominica. We move now to the digital transformation project. As a nation will recall, recently the government secured funding from the World Bank in the amount of just over $76 million EC to support the implementation of our digital strategy. This digital transformation will modernize the way we do business here in Dominica. This digital transformation will ensure that the public sector delivers services to its citizens and industries in Dominica and create an environment where our young people can be innovative and create sustainable jobs for themselves. Under component 1 of this project, we will start, and have already seen, the focus on legal and regulatory framework to institutions, reform consistent with global best practice, to support the modernization of telecommunications and the digital financial services sector, while mitigating against growing risk of the digital economy, including cybersecurity, data protection, and privacy. Component 2, digital government infrastructure and platform services. This component shall support the public sector modernization, resilience, and delivery of digital public services to the individuals and businesses. It will aim to ensure that Dominica has put in place the core infrastructure and platforms, institution, and human capacity needed to efficiently and effectively manage internal government operations. For example, public goods will be widely accessible online wherever you are in the country, region, or across the globe. We will have access to data and information across borders to smooth administration of regional trade, immigration, and other services. We will have the ability to rapidly target and deliver payments and social services to citizens and businesses in the event of a natural disaster. The new and improved government services website will be made live soon. This new website will provide seamless access to the respective ministries, including forms presently in hard copy will be available online, and the relevant payments can be made via the government e-portal. A noteworthy and exciting aspect of the digital transformation is the implementation of the hospital management system. Once the system is operational, there will be connectivity across the country, so the health and wellness centers and the hospital will be connected. To just give a brief example of what this will include, a patient will be able to access his or her medical records anywhere in the country using a unique identification number. Medical staff will be connected and can use the medium to get support from each other. This will transform our health services with the aim to make delivery of health services more efficient and more effective. To put it simply, we'll be moving away from what we Dominicans call the doctor book into a more proficient and efficient system. So for most of us who would have visited the accident and emergency unit, on every visit to the hospital, you would ask to fill out a form. This will be no more, as you will have all your records right there available. And I would just like to assure the public that yes, the system will be secured with different layers of security, so no, everybody is not going to have access to your health records. Another exciting aspect of the project is the modernization and the digitization of our civil records registry. A unique ID will be made available to all residents to improve access to government and private sector services. Importantly, we have catered for a wide and intense training of officers in the public service, including certified and digital courses. The first set of government staff have completed the recent cybersecurity course, and they will soon receive their certificates. The third component under this project, digital skills and technology adaptation. This component aims to better equip individuals and businesses for jobs and the economy of the future to spur on innovation and productivity. Our mission is to establish a niche of citizens equipped with digital skills. To the end, we have already established 15 digital hubs located in different communities across the country, 11 of which are already operational. We have also aggressively undertaken education and training of the general public at these hubs. Soon, we'll unfold a number of certified training programs to include network security, graphic design, software development, data analysis, cybersecurity, computer repairs. Just last week, we had a meeting with the Oracle Academy and one of the leading software companies in the world to discuss training and other solutions for the government. So we are seeking to provide the general public with training such as Java, C++, Python, and the list that goes on for different programming languages which are available, database management, cloud, and other web services. At the end of the implementation of this component, we'll have a number of Dominicans here on the island who can develop apps, especially apps which are suited for our society. We will go into the primary schools, into the high schools, and of course our Dominica State College, and all communities to bring these opportunities to all Dominicans. At this point, I would like to thank the staff of the Ministry of Public Works for their continued support, as well as the staff of the digital economy. And I'd also like to especially thank our partners, the UNDP, in organizing training and obtaining technical support for the ministry. I thank you.
Thanks to the Honorable Minister for the summary of his ministry's activities. As you heard from the Minister, Mr. Kendall Johnson is the consultant engineer on the East Coast Road project, and he will now provide an update.
Okay. Good morning to all present. Honorable Prime Minister, Minister for Public Works, Minister Grant, Dr. McIntyre, CABSEC, PSs, Moderator Duran, the media, and the listening public. I'm happy to be here to share some of the project statistics with you, and that is regarding the rehabilitation of the Eastern Roadworks Phase 1. The Civil Works project comprises the rehabilitation of some 30 kilometers or 19 miles of road between the Bois-Diab Junction to Castle Bruce and Castle Bruce to Hatton Garden via the Kalinago territory. The main objectives of the project are to improve infrastructure resilience to disaster events through slope stabilization interventions, the rehabilitation of roads, bridges, retaining walls, and other drainage systems. Funding for this project was made available through the World Bank and also the government of the Commonwealth of Dominica under the Disaster Vulnerability Reduction Project, the DVRP.
So loan, eh?
Yes, a loan. Yes, okay. A more detailed breakdown of the works, the project is broken down into two lots, namely lots 1 and 2. Lot 1, Bois-Diab to Castle Bruce, and the works comprise the rehabilitation and widening of the road pavement up to a travel width of about 6.5 meters or 21.5 feet. And the activities to achieve this are excavation and slope stabilization, the replacement of 2 bridges, namely the Livier Bridge, 28 meters long or 92 feet, and also the Belfield Bridge on the Castle Bruce stretch. That's about 33 meters long or 109 feet single span. The replacement of 77 culverts of varying sizes between 1.2 meters and 3 meters. That's 4 feet to 10 feet wide. Construction of 15 retaining walls, various heights and lengths, and curbs and slippers and other drains over that complete length of road.